On this episode of Always a Raven, Rob Herringer, graduate of the class of 2000 and a longtime men's soccer coach, joins me. For Rob, soccer isn't just a game, it's a way of life, leadership, and legacy. Rooted in the Benedictine college tradition and on the shoulders of soccer legend John Casey, Rob spent 4 years playing and 11 years coaching at Benedictine College. Rob was never just about building teams, he built men. Rob's the kind of coach who sees the person before the player and the game as just the beginning.
The best part about my time at Benedictine wasn't always the wins and the championships and all that stuff. It's watching these guys, and the family men they are, the impact they're having on their communities. And I'm like, okay, we did something right during those 11 years.
Welcome to Always a Raven, a Benedictine College podcast that goes far beyond the brick streets of Atchison, Kansas. Hosted by Janelle Menz, Always a Raven offers a unique glimpse into Ravens from all generations. From where are they now to remember when, these conversations share career triumphs and personal milestones. So whether you are an alum looking to reconnect, a prospective student, or simply curious about what makes Benedictine College so special, join us and discover the enduring power of Benedictine College.
I'm happy today to welcome Rob Herringer to the podcast. Rob graduated from Benedictine College in 2000. He was the head of the men's soccer team from 2004 to 2015. With a tremendous record of 124, 43, and 21, I'm thrilled to talk to him today, not only about his stellar soccer coaching career, but also about his time at Benedictine. Thank you so much for being here, Rob.
Thanks for having me.
You have quite the coaching legacy here at Benedictine and beyond, and your teaching of, soccer and all the things. I'm excited to learn more about your time here as a student and a coach and how that has shaped you to what you're doing today. So let's just, start back at the beginning. It's late 90s and you're in Nebraska and you're like, I'm going to go where to college. So how'd you find Benedictine?
This is a good story. I think everybody's got a how'd they find BC story, right?
Yeah,
But, my senior year in high school, I'm coming from Nebraska. I didn't really understand recruiting. My parents didn't understand recruiting or anything like that. So it becomes the spring of my senior year, and I still don't know where I'm going to go to college. I've visited several schools, a lot of big schools, to be honest. And it's getting into the springtime, and I get a phone call from John Casey, just out of nowhere, and he says, I'm John Casey. I'm from Benedictine College. Well, I knew about Benedictine College because I had a couple stepsisters that went there.
Okay.
But at the time, based on the other conversations I was having with soccer coaches, I was like, "Thanks, coach. I appreciate it, but I don't know if I'm interested."
Sure.
And so, okay, well, I'll give you a call back. Think about it a little bit. I'll give you a call back. Well, I happened to mention it in school the next day, or a couple days later. Somebody's like, "Oh, Rob, where are you looking at, now?" And I'm like, I got a call from this Benedictine College the other day. Ever heard of that? And then a girl in my class, pops her hand up and she says, "My sister goes there."
Oh, wow.
I really didn't know her very well, but she says, I'm going to go visit her here pretty soon. Do you want to come? Okay. So I basically go visit Benedictine to get out of a day of school. And I got out of a day of school, but as soon as I walked on campus, I got to tell you, my story is similar to so many others. I loved it.
Yeah.
It just felt like a natural fit for me. I enjoyed my entire day. The guys on the soccer team treated me really well. And an interesting part of this story is I never met John Casey in person.
Really?
Yeah, most people don't know that. So Coach Casey at the time had just taken the job.
Yeah.
Again, for like the second or third time.
Right.
And he was not physically in Atchison. He was in St. Louis. And so when I walked into the admissions office for my tour, he actually was on the phone. And he spoke to me on the phone, but I never met Coach Casey in person.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What did he say to you on the phone?
He just basically just welcomed campus. So excited that you're there. I wish I could be there, but I'm in St. Louis right now. Just super nice.
Yeah.
And, I had an advantage, I think, because another alum who lived in Omaha, and he was a very big soccer coach in Omaha, Don Klosterman.
Okay.
He coached in the club that I grew up in Omaha, and he was the one who passed my information on to Coach Casey.
But unbeknown to you, right?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in the end, not meeting Coach is a little unusual. I trusted Don Klosterman
Sure.
because I knew Don Klosterman. And, obviously it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Yeah.
Holy cow. Isn't that funny? Like, you probably were like, well, it's the spring. I need to make a decision. And like
Yeah.
you said, like, I guess I'll just use this as a get out of day, get
Oh,
out of
yeah.
school
Totally.
day. Yeah. Cause it's funny, Rob, I was in the same boat because I tooled around Iowa. I think I drove my mom crazy. 12 different colleges in Iowa. And I was like, well, just not feeling it yet, And then it was April. I came to Benedictine
Yeah.
and toured, and it was the only one my dad came with us. And he was like, you should probably go here. And my dad's very much a JUCO kind of like, let's do junior college, save a little bit of money. So the fact that he was saying it too, and that's tremendous that, in the absence of John Casey, the soccer team really
Yeah.
shined through to you and really made that impression from that respect. Because you could be like, oh, cool college, but the soccer team, they left more to be desired. But the fact that they were able to be probably what John Casey was hoping they could be without
Yeah.
him being here, that's awesome. So you get here, and tell me about your time here.
Oh, man. So yeah, I arrived on campus, I guess fall of 96 was my freshman year.
Okay.
Right away, we arrived early because soccer started. I think the
Sure.
athletes arrived, a week early or something, and so you're immediately thrown into this very intense, crazy environment. I look back on that first week, and like my head was spinning. My lungs were burning. My
Yeah.
body was more sore than it had ever been in my life, and I'm like, well, this is college soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But so the first couple of weeks were hard because we had 3-a-day practices with Coach Casey, and they were intense, and all of us were fighting for jobs. But then the best part, about that initial phase was, then the other students show up,
Yeah.
and then your freshman orientation kicks in. That was that was amazing because we kind of needed that, right? As new people on campus, we needed to meet our fellow
Right.
classmates,
Right. Right.
forming relationships. And so my first semester, I remember it being very much a blur mostly because of soccer season. You're on the road all the time, you're
Yeah.
training all the time, you're very focused on school and soccer, and that's really all you have time for. But you're able to weave in, making those relationships and getting to know the people in your dorm and
Right.
all that.
Right.
So I'd say my first semester, I learned a ton, and it just got better from there,
Yeah,
really.
for sure. Well, because you were on the heels of not a great time at Benedictine College's history as far as like
Yeah.
financially, right? So, like, just from that perspective, like, do you feel like you look at it now versus then, and when you came back as a coach, do you feel like there was any feelings of like things seems a little, not so great? I mean, I know when we were here, there was
Yeah.
lack of air conditioning and such, but like, did you feel
Right.
that at all? Like, I'm curious. People I've talked to that have come during that time, it doesn't seem to be like a thorn in their memories.
Uh, I wouldn't have known that we were in financial trouble as
That's
a student.
amazing. Yeah.
But I think it's because it's obviously because of the people, it's the
Right.
environment. I've heard stories, like right before I got there, a few years right before I started, they were close to closing down,
Yeah.
potentially. And yeah, I never once felt that. I think having a smaller campus was nice for me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
personally because I got to know pretty much everybody. Everyone looked out for each other. I remember
Yeah.
definitely there were moments where we all had to rally around each other, and that just created more of a family atmosphere. Not that that doesn't exist now. Obviously, that's still very much a part of the campus culture. I mean, I showed up a few weeks ago for the first time in, 8 years or so, and I was welcomed back like I had never left.
Right. Right.
That's Benedictine for you.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing because same here. I mean, a year ago, I took this position as the director of stewardship, and not that I worried, but I was like, this is gonna be different. Like moving my family here, and there's 2,200 kids now, if more than that, and like, is the vibe going to be the same? Is it going to feel the same? And good gravy. I mean, I think it's just beautiful and a testament to the culture that is Benedictine. We could be 500 people or 2,250, and we still feel that, and the students they're Benedictine, they're Ravens, so
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. So you met your wife here, is that right?
Yep.
Where was she? Where was home for her?
Uh, Atchison, actually.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh, that's funny. So you met her here, and did you start dating while you were in school?
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
she was in my freshman orientation group. Uh, obviously, got to know her through that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I suppose we were friends first. Our friend groups kind of hung out together.
Yeah.
Friends first, and then I guess, sophomore year things started picking up a little bit, and then junior year things became official. So yeah, I would say probably late sophomore year on things
That's awesome.
got
Very
serious.
cool.
Quick,
So
yeah.
you graduated, and then you came back to be the coach in 2004. So when did you guys get married?
We got married in 2002.
Okay. So really and you guys left Atchison, is that right?
Yeah, we lived in Lansing, Kansas for a little while
Okay. So
before we
moving
moved back
back
home.
to Atchison was kind of to coach. Did you move back to Atchison then? Or did you
No, we lived in
commute?
Lansing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you commuted. Okay. So but it probably wasn't a big deal then, like to come back. I mean, you had only been gone
Well,
for 4 years.
I have to tell you that it came at the right time for me. I know I was very young to
Yeah.
be a head coach, but it came at the right time for me. It was
Yeah.
the right challenge at the right time. And I tell people all the time, I think the reason why we were so successful during the time I was there had a lot to do with the support that I had, not only at the college but at home, because
Yeah.
Simbri went to Benedictine. Her heart's with Benedictine, so it made it a little bit easier, for the longer nights or for the
Sure.
long calls, or the recruiting trips I had to take. It just made it a little bit easier knowing that we were doing it for Benedictine.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
she's been massive support for me over the years, supporting me in everything that I've wanted to do in coaching, and yeah,
That's
it's
beautiful.
special. Yeah.
When you were a coach, obviously the scales kind of fall off of like the Pollyanna, you're a student, da da da. So like you change now you're in a more leadership role, you're actually an employee.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like, I mean, you were only 4 years out. So what, you're 26, 27, coming back, head coach, little bit of pressure, especially John Casey's legacy, right? So talk about that, like that difference from a mindset perspective to go from, I'm not gonna go out to the bars with you guys, or maybe you did,
Yeah.
but like, you know what I mean? Like, talk about that.
I look back on that a lot, actually, those first few years. And I look back on my time at Benedictine a lot. I reflect a lot. And I would say I was able to somehow draw that line pretty early, between coach and student, coach and
Yeah.
player. I think coaches struggle with that a lot. I
Hmm.
work with coaches now and help them through that. So I didn't feel like I had a difficult time transitioning, but maybe I transitioned too hard too fast, maybe I was too strict, and I wanted to make it very clear that, there were expectations and there were standards for playing for this program and for representing this school.
Hmm.
And I always erred on the side of being a little harder on them
Sure.
than a little easier.
Yeah. Don't you
You know,
think that that kind of elevates and amplifies where we sit from a mindset of it's the whole person. It's
yeah,
not just, we're going to
yeah,
win championships.
yeah.
So you really
Listen,
exuded that, it sounds like, from the get-go.
well, listen. So I'm all about holistic development. It's a big
Yeah.
part of my coaching philosophy, and for me, it was bigger than soccer. Obviously, we wanted to
Hmm.
win and represent our soccer program the best way we could, to represent our school the best way we could. But I wanted my guys. I'll call them my guys, our
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I wanted them to go and be great fathers. I wanted them to
Mhm.
be great husbands and
Yeah.
be great in the world, whatever they
Yeah.
decided to do. And so I tried my best to impart all the Benedictine values I could on them
Yeah.
while I had them.
Right.
Uh, I'd say, since moving back to Kansas City, I have reconnected with so many of my former players. It's unreal. And the best part about my time at Benedictine wasn't always the wins and the championships and all that stuff. It's watching these guys
Yeah.
and the family men they are,
Mhm.
the impact they're having on their communities, and I'm like, okay, we did something right during those 11 years.
Calling all Benedictine football alumni. If you ever wore the pads for Benedictine, August 30th is for you. Help us kick off the season and join your fellow Ravens as we honor the legacy, the brotherhood, and the tradition of Benedictine College football. It's Alumni Day, August 30th, Wilcox Stadium, 1 p.m. versus Morningside. We look forward to seeing you there.
That gives me chills, Rob, honestly. And maybe it's my mama heart, I don't know, or my Benedictine heart, but like that's what it's about. Like it's about doing what you do here at Benedictine and then going out and whatever that looks like for your career, whatever that looks like personally, and really being who we're called to be on a higher level. And here it's so beautiful to see people always in one way or another see something in you that you don't see. And it sounds like full stop you did that with all of your team member, your
Well,
players, and that's commendable.
I look back and I have no idea how we were able to put those teams together because the personalities, a lot of years, those personalities mesh so well.
Yeah.
And I do think it's because we recruited like-minded people, right?
Yeah.
Like people were like, and the thing that we did that was different than a lot of people at the time is, we had mostly American players who are local,
Yeah.
Kansas City guys, and then we would filter in some internationals here and there, and some of those guys were phenomenal players for us. But we had a great core group of local talent of people who knew about the school, who maybe
Yeah.
had relatives to the school, and I just tried to bring the best players I could together, but they
Yeah.
had it, the personality of the player that we were looking for too.
Sure.
And somehow we got really lucky and just were able to put awesome people together and let them work.
Yeah, well, it's probably more than luck. It's probably a little bit of drive and motivation and you seeing the bigger picture cuz so give yourself a pat on the back, my goodness.
Um,
So you left in 15, new opportunities, etc. How did you take? I mean, that's 11 years plus 4 is, in college, and then like take all of that. You can't, I mean, I'm sure as you navigated from 15, 10 years now, it's 2025, like how have you seen Benedictine show up in your life over the past 10 years?
wow. So I think, I went from being the coach at Benedictine College to the executive director of a soccer club with over
Mhm.
1,000 soccer players.
Wow.
I had really never been in like a leadership position like that. Now
Sure.
I did my school leadership master's degree at Benedictine as well,
Yeah, yeah,
felt
yeah.
ready. But that's what I really had to lean on. I had to lean on my Benedictine education when I got thrust into a leadership position like that. And I'll be very honest with you. One of the first things that I did was I reread the Rule of St. Benedict.
No, that's amazing.
And I also gave a copy of the Rule of St. Benedict to the leaders in our club, the various directors.
Yeah.
And this is 100% honest truth. I have gone back to the Rule of St. Benedict multiple times in my career, and it is a tremendous guide for any leader of any group or organization. Now, certainly, I used some of that when I was coaching at Benedictine too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
natural.
Right.
I hope students still get a copy of that.
I believe they
That
do.
was
Mhm.
required when we got,
Right.
when entered campus. But anyway, that was where it started. But then of course I used a lot of things from my master's degree program at Benedictine College with Diana Henderson and that amazing group of educators. So I am a example of what a Benedictine education can do for people, and the fact that it's a liberal arts education, it rounds you.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of knowledge about everything, and I think that makes me really dangerous, right? In any room I'm in, and of course I've sat in all kinds of different rooms. I know people think, well, he's a soccer coach, but it's been much more than just that.
Absolutely.
And I've been able to fall back on what I've learned at Benedictine time and time again, and so I'm very grateful. Yeah.
That's so cool that like you have the courage to just go into an environment like that and be like, here's a little light reading for you all. And they, I
Yeah.
mean, probably Catholic or not, they probably like, what's this,
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
so that's magic, but that's pretty cool
Oh, thank
because it's a testament to just, it's to us, it's
you.
just a part of it, and it's not rocket science. We're not, brain surgeons,
Yeah.
we're really just trying to do good in the world. And that's a tool, a resource to use while you do it. That's pretty amazing. When you reflect back on your time at Benedictine, are there any moments or stories, coaching or
Okay.
otherwise, that you're just like, that's when I knew that this place is more than I thought?
You're gonna get me emotional probably at this point in this
Sorry,
podcast.
but
I have so many amazing memories. Probably for me as a coach was when we won the double, which was the regular season Heart Championship and the tournament championship, which is
yeah,
really unheard of. Not many teams have done it ever.
yeah,
We hosted the final on campus at night, on a Friday night or Saturday night. Kai Kamara from Sporting Kansas City's there, Cyprian
wow,
Hendricks there. I mean, it was a big deal. Like there
yeah,
was nothing else going on campus. We played a conference final against Missouri Valley, and we won that game. And the students all stormed the field,
oh
and
my gosh,
there's alumni on the field hugging me, and then there's
yeah,
students and my players and my family. And
yeah,
so I would tell you that's probably one of the biggest highlights of my career.
sure,
Uh, Certainly, there's lots of fun times when I was a student
yeah.
that we get into, but probably shouldn't on the podcast. But uh, listen, I had so many amazing memories. And I had this memory uh a couple weeks ago, and I remember being able to call Coach Casey and tell him we made the national tournament,
Yeah, yeah,
and for him that was like the biggest deal ever
yeah.
because we hadn't made it since 1983, and
Oh my
so
gosh.
yeah, we made it in 2009. So I just remember telling him we did it. We
Yeah.
did it.
Oh my gosh. When you met Coach Casey, because we never got to that. I'm gonna circle back.
Okay.
When you finally met Coach Casey, did he exceed your expectations, or did you have an idea in your mind of what he was gonna be like? What was that like?
Oh, I had no clue. He was bigger than life, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
it was a shock because I hadn't really played for a guy like Coach Casey before. He very energetic, intense. Like he brought the energy before the players
Yeah.
all the time. And he taught us what it meant to play for your school. And I know a lot of guys I played with, they came from a lot of great Catholic schools and they had that culture, but I came from a public school in Nebraska and it was a great school, but it didn't have that culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he showed us what it meant to play for Benedictine. And that for me was special
Yeah.
because you don't get it when you first get there, but I certainly got it by the time I left.
I
And I
bet.
was fortunate enough to play for Coach Casey for 4 straight years. A lot of people didn't get to do that.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't learn how to necessarily be a better soccer player, but I learned how to be a better man.
Yeah.
I learned how to be a Raven. That's why my time as the coach, it was so special for me that we were able to build the press box and locker room and put his name on the front.
Yeah.
And
And such a beautiful testament to someone that shaped you and
yes.
saw something in you that you probably didn't see in yourself. You probably knew like, I'm good at soccer, like here we go, but he also saw more in
Yes.
you that maybe you're like, I don't need to worry about that, like whatever, so like that's beautiful. And you know, that's a testament to him as a person, you as a person, to then take that and put that almost full circle, give that back to Benedictine and
Yeah.
treat those players that you coached for 11 years and still in touch with today. And we would be remiss not to talk about Kyle Gregg because that's a feather
Yeah.
in your cap for him to be the only soccer player to go play major. I mean, that's talk to me about that. Like when he was here, were you like, he's going, like this kid, like he's a star, or talk about that?
I talked about this during the induction speech.
Yeah.
When I saw Kyle play, he was not a starter on his club team, and but when he went into the game, he always tried to make the game better. He would just fly around trying to have an impact on the game, and I'm like, man, I need someone like that. On our team for sure, like this is a Raven. I mean, so from day one, I knew he was a Raven, and I had to convince him to come to Benedictine and play soccer. He wasn't gonna play soccer. He was ready to be done with soccer.
Sure.
So we got him on board. I think having a lot of the local guys on the team helped convince him to come. But right away he played. He was a freshman and he started and played. And shoot, he was on that '09 team that went to Fresno and played in the national tournament. He was just a special individual because, and I tell people this all the time, every August when we would report for a new season, I knew I would see a bigger, faster, stronger Kyle Gregg, period.
Wow.
He cared that much about preparing for the season.
Yeah.
He did what you want all players to do, take ownership of your development, especially at that age.
Yeah.
So he did everything that he possibly could to be the best athlete that he could be. And then he was coachable. And I'm not taking credit for Kyle Gregg because Kyle Gregg made Kyle Gregg.
We had a little encouragement. You were maybe his number 2 fan after his mom.
Yeah, for sure. But he just had the drive and determination, and he's gonna let anything stop him from reaching his goal. And he had that amazing opportunity because he changed his major after being hunted by Sporting Kansas City during his junior year.
That's crazy.
He changed his major his senior year so he could focus on, he was a nursing major.
Really?
And, yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So he changed his major his senior year and bought himself an extra year of college because of that. And that year he spent as my GA. And basically I would just have him play against our guys every day and prepare himself for upcoming combines.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Occasionally he and I would work one-on-one on some things, getting ready for a combine.
I bet that was a different perspective for you, from okay, I'm trying to help him get pro. Like this is probably a little bit of a stretch for you too.
It was a big deal. Like I'm like, you really? Like, okay. And he had to trust me.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of that prep on his own, let's be honest, but I was happy to help. But then, we had players that came after him that also played some pro soccer. And so we did similar things with those guys. They were getting ready. So, he paved the way in a lot of ways.
That's truth. Yeah. And that's amazing to just be like, okay, I played a part in that has to just make your heart happy,
Oh, yeah.
And you said at the beginning, the coach that you had in Nebraska, you trusted him with regards to John Casey, and look at where that got you. And then you paid that forward with Kyle Gregg, and for Kyle to trust you, and look where that took him. So pretty cool story and road there, if you ask me. All right. So I have one more question before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Did the girl that rose her hand in your senior class go to Benedictine?
She did for a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't make it.
Shoot.
But that's okay because I made it, and it was I owe her, honestly,
right?
Because she got me on campus. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have gone. But
that's funny. I just was curious. Her sister or family member went here, and it's not for everybody, but there is a place for everybody if they give it a shot. So I am so thankful for this conversation, Rob.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Always a Raven. New episodes will drop every Tuesday, and you're not going to want to miss any of them because we've got some pretty amazing guests coming up. They are reigniting the hearts of Ravens throughout all generations across all industries, and they are incredible. Be sure to like and follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss any episodes. And if you're a new Raven or a potential Raven, be sure to check out our website at benedictine.edu. And remember, once a Raven, always a Raven.